Typically for me, I'll train in a strap all the time. What happens if you don't train in a strap, and if you're the stronger person, you're gonna run into technical issues. Like if you're training arm wrestling, and like there's a stronger guy and there's a junior guy, you know, senior and junior. And typical protocol for good practice is senior holds, junior works. That way nobody gets hurt, right? Because you can't be hurting your training partners, and everybody gets a good workout. And for me, table practice is just fun, and it's about comfort. But I'm in a lucky place because I'm strong enough that that's what it is. You know, I've been doing it long enough. If the table practices are hurting you, like if you're done a table practice and you're like, oh man, I'm like, so you have to go light. You cannot, I mean, I hate to say cannot because then people are like, well, I can't do it, you know, and maybe they can.
There's always the exception.
There's exceptions to everything, but I think for the most part, if you go to a place where you're hurting your tendons and ligaments, you got to train light. You got to push fluids, and that's how you heal your tendons. Yeah, so you can get back on the table and do it again. Every time I go to practices and I see like people pulling, for the most part, I'm like, oh guys, you're doing it wrong. In my opinion, and this is from a guy who's been arm wrestling a long time and really loves the sport, there should be very little pinning in practice. Very little, especially when guys are trying hard. Like I understand, like if you're holding someone and kind of letting them work through the process and everything's safe and controlled, but there should be very little pinning, because what pinning is you're breaking somebody's form, okay? Like I'm very safe in the middle of the table, my wrist a little bit bent, I have all my angles, I can use all my stuff, everything's activated. As soon as you start to turn me over, and guess what that is? That's terrible form. Terrible form. You're now practicing the sport in terrible form, which just means your likelihood of injury is going to go way up. You know, it's fun. Like I get it. Like you know, it's just if you actually want to get stronger, don't get pinned. Don't get pinned, and talk to each other. Be like, listen, man, if you feel like you can pin me, just settle down. Like it's just a practice. Like senior holds. This is a great concept for all arm wrestlers to figure out. Like if you are at a table practice and you can pin the guy, you don't pin him. You hold them. Yeah, you'll get more out of it. And if you want to be done, then just be done. Like if you don't want to, do it for like 30 seconds or 40, if you want to just do it for 15 seconds, hold the guy for 15 seconds. But when you start to pin your practice partners, you're going to hurt them. And then you got one less piece of equipment. No. People shouldn't be pinning too much in practice. Very, very rarely. Listen, when you're warmed up and you're good and you've been doing it a few years and you know you're looking for that experience, yeah, okay, go for it. Yeah, but that's like 5%. Like 80% of your time in practice should be hanging out in the middle of the table. You know, both safe, like ramping up the pressure. So, oh, I got you there. You know, give it back. You know.
In the center, playing with
the center. The match is won and lost in the center of the table. It's all like if you can control the center, you control the whole thing. You don't need to carry through for the win. And that's how, I mean, and the more time you can safely spend on the table, the more it adds up, right? Volume. Talk about volume on the practice table. You know, you do a lot of time on the practice table and it'll help build that foundation. You know, you're comfortable, you're happy, you're healthy, you're strong. Yeah.